Hello nerds! Welcome back to our channel once again. Today we are going to learn about the theories under pedagogy or learning. As we have discussed one of the two practical approaches of the teaching and learning model of Bloom's taxonomy, Dale's cone of experience, and Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences, now it's time to discuss other major theories. This section will try to put together these theories under specific teaching and learning models based on pedagogy, andragogy, and heutagogy. Now let's have a look at the theories under pedagogy. The pedagogic theory is a systematic conceptualization of education and conditions of human development in both the individual and the societal sphere. It deals with upbringing, teaching, learning, and social and cultural development. The pedagogy has 5 primary educational learning theories. 1. Behaviorism. 2. Cognitivism. 3. Constructivism. 4. Humanism. 6. Connectivism. According to educational theorists, teachers, and experts, these theories can inform successful teaching approaches and provide a foundation for developing lesson plans and curricula. Let's discuss cognitivism theories. According to cognitive theory, learning involves acquiring or reorganizing the cognitive structures that enable humans to process and store information. This theory describes how the brain of the learner gains and processes information. Albert Bandura, Jean Piaget, Jerome Bruner, and David Ossoff are the key theorists. It explores mental processes and uses modeling to uncover the thinking behind the expert search. Students need metacognitive learning strategies to monitor and direct their own learning. These strategies are predicting outcomes, planning research steps, managing time, making decisions, and developing alternate strategies when a search fails. Cognitivism provides active learning techniques and motivational learning content through problem solving. Cognitivism develops lessons based on conceptual frameworks such as a research process model. It activates prior knowledge using elaboration like imagery, mnemonics, questioning, and note-taking. It also includes advanced organizers, analogies, and metaphors. It organizes material by chunking it into meaningful parts and using concept maps to give overviews. Students record and reflect upon their actions as a basis for analysis and reflection. One of the most popular theories under cognitivism is Jean Piaget's theory of cognitive development. It is also called developmental stage theory. This theory describes the nature and development of human intelligence. It was developed by Swiss developmental psychologist Jean Piaget. Piaget's theory can generally be described as a developmental stage theory. The theory examines the nature of knowledge and how humans acquire, construct, and use it over time. According to the theory, the children develop their own knowledge through experience. They learn things for themselves without being influenced by adults or older children. Children are motivated to learn by nature. They don't need rewards as motivation. Piaget proposed 4 stages of cognitive development for humans. 1. The sensorimotor stage. 2. Preoperational stage. 3. Concrete operational stage. 4. Formal operational stage. Now, let's discuss them one by one. The first one is the sensorimotor stage, which starts with birth to 18 to 24 months old. Sensorimotor development occurs between birth and age 2. Here Piaget proposes that infant to baby experiences the world through their senses and movement, notably their habits and circular reactions like sucking their thumbs. Learning about object permanence and how to coordinate circular reactions with behaviors. Novelty and curiosity are in the exploratory stages from 12 months to 18 months old. From 18 months to 2 years, the baby creates a blueprint of its patterns and findings. A child gains knowledge of the world through the actions they perform in it. Children who have not yet developed complete object permanence, they play peekaboo by hiding and revealing their faces. As children progress through the sensorimotor period, they develop a permanent sense of self and object, and peekaboo quickly loses interest. The sensorimotor stage is categorized into 6 substages by Piaget. 1. Simple reflexes from birth to 6 weeks. 2. First habits and primary circular reactions phase from 6 weeks to 4 months. 3. Secondary circular reactions phase from 4 to 8 months. 4. Coordination of secondary circular reaction stages from 8 to 12 months. 5. Tertiary circular reactions, novelty, and curiosity from 12 to 18 months. 6. Internalization of schemas from 18 to 24 months. The second one is the preoperational stage. From age 2 through the age 7. According to Piaget, this stage starts towards the end of the second year. The process begins when a child starts to speak and lasts until 7. This stage lasts from when the child begins to speak, typically around age 2 through to age 7. The child can form stable concepts and magical beliefs like magical thinking. During this phase, you will see increased physical and imaginative play. Since children still find it difficult to see things from a different perspective, be cautious when asking, "How do you think I feel?" This stage is subdivided into 1. Symbolic function. Children ages 2 to 4 use symbols to help identify and make sense of the world around them. An example is the common drawing of family members as big as a house. The symbolic function substage is when children can understand, represent, remember, and picture objects in their minds without having the object in front of them. Second one is intuitive thought. Children ages 4 to 7 begin asking several questions. Children start to reason and therefore want to know more. In this stage, conversations begin to form. In this stage, children tend to ask the questions why and how come. When children are at this stage, they want to understand everything. The third stage is concrete operational stage from ages 7 to 11. It is characterized by the proper use of logic and science. At this stage, a child's thinking becomes more mature and adult-like. They begin solving problems more logically. Piaget determined that children can incorporate inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning involves drawing inferences from observations to generalize. Alternatively, children have difficulty with deductive reasoning, which involves applying a general principle to predict the outcome of an event. It is the inability to consider or understand a perspective that differs from one's own. In this stage, the child's thoughts and morals are primarily concerned with himself. Children can now reflect on the perspectives of others, are much more aware of logic, will converse with others about novel topics, and begin to problem solve. They understand classification hierarchies and can group objects according to class and subclass such as identity, reversibility, conservation, decentration, seriation. The fourth is the formal operational stage from 11 to 16. This could also be called the little Plato stage, as children and teens begin understanding abstract thought and metacognition. Something like thinking about thinking, knowing about knowing. Children and teens can problem solve across multiple steps. The formal operational stages carry on beyond age 16. This thought form includes assumptions that have no necessary relation to reality. Piaget stated that hypothetical deductive reasoning becomes essential during the formal operational stage. This type of thinking involves hypothetical like what-ifs. It is often used in science and mathematics. The process of formal operationalization produces abstract thought. It is common for children to think very concretely, specifically in the early stages, and to consider their actions' possible outcomes and consequences. Metacognition is the capacity for thinking about thinking that enables adolescents and adults to reason about their thought process and monitor them. Children demonstrate problem-solving skills by using trial and error to resolve issues. It becomes possible to logically and methodically solve a problem. Now, we can have a brief discussion on other cognitive theorists. We will begin with Jerome Bruner. He was an American psychologist who significantly contributed to human cognitive psychology and cognitive learning theory in educational psychology. Jerome Bruner is a cognitive psychologist, first proposed scaffolding theory in the late 1950s. In his work, he described the process of children learning to speak orally. Instructional scaffolding is the instructor's support given to a student throughout the learning process. Another important theorist is Albert Bandura. He was an American psychologist of Canadian descent. He developed social cognitive theory. He is probably best known for his modeling study on aggression, referred to as the Bobo doll experiment. It demonstrated that children could learn behaviors through observing adults. This Bobo doll experiment has shown the concept of observational learning. One of the important theorists is David Ossoff. He was an American psychologist. His most noteworthy contribution to educational psychology, cognitive science, and science education has been developing and researching advanced organizers since 1960. He introduced his meaningful learning theory in educational psychology, a cognitive view, published in 1968. He argued that there is a hierarchical knowledge organization and that new information can be incorporated into the existing hierarchy. So that's all for today. In our next class, we will discuss behaviorism theory. So don't forget to join us. You only have to subscribe to the channel to get the videos. Thanks for watching. See you in our next class.